Okay, my name is Ross Abelies, and I am here today to interview two members of Martiele Swanko Ministries, and we're going to hear about their own personal journey with the ministry. Welcome, Pat, and welcome, Ron.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hello, how are you today?
We're great.
Super sensational.
Awesome. All right, well, it's a pleasure to have you, and let's get started. I have, just a few questions to ask you guys about your experience with the ministry. I guess we'll start with Pat. How did you get involved with Martiele Swanko Ministries?
Well, I was sent an email. I think it was a supernatural connection because I just see this email and I opened it and I saw the invite and I was happy to join. I was introduced to the ministry years ago, but I didn't get on. So God supernaturally caused it to come around again to where I could get on. It was timing.
And how about you, Ron?
Well, it was at my wife's invitation one night. I actually started noticing her coming home, and I'd see her for a second, and then I wouldn't see her for a few hours later until I was in bed. And so she asked me, "How would you like to come on and pray with us?" And I thought about it. I said, "Sure."
Awesome. And you just really enjoyed it and you kept going, huh?
Well, it's something that I know was a very necessary thing for me to be more of a prayer, to learn the art of praying, and especially prophetic praying. So yes, it was a shoe-in.
Right. Cool. Well, what is both of your professional backgrounds?
Me, I was a truck driver.
And I'm a nursing assistant.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the main reasons for these interviews is to show the amazing diversity that we have within the ministry. There's people of all different professions, walks of life, religions, and people all over the world that come together through the ministry. So I know I feel very lucky to be a part of it. And from talking to you, Pat, especially in the past, I know that you do as well. How has the ministry made a difference in your life? I guess we'll go with Pat first.
Well, it has made a tremendous difference in that I get more to develop the art of praying and to be able to speak a word into someone's life, a word to hear more from God and to be a more listener, to hear what God is saying and to give a right on word. And that means a whole lot to me.
And how about you, Ron?
Well, first and foremost, as a husband and wife, praying together, number one, and then being able to hear from God is really developing the art of prayer. Most people think speaking to God is about the art of prayer, but actually it's listening that's more about our prayer. So hearing the voice of God and saying what He says and doing what He says is big time.
Great. Were you guys raised in Christian households?
Yes, we were.
You both were.
Yes.
Okay, well, starting again with Pat, have you had any sort of specific breakthroughs or miracles happen to you since you've been a part of the ministry?
Well, to be able to develop my ministry gift, to me that's a miracle in itself, because I had that gifting and I really didn't know how to develop it. I wasn't given an opportunity, so that's a miracle in itself. And to get Ron and myself together, praying in this household and pursuing the same path that God has called us in, is also a miracle. So I thank God for that, for bringing us together in that manner.
Awesome. And how about you, Ron?
The question again?
The question is, have you had any specific breakthroughs or miracles come to pass in your life since you became a part of the ministry?
Not at the moment, but still looking forward to a physical manifestation of my healing. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and the struggles with that are what would you say, honey?
Tremendous.
Yes. So hearing the prophetic prayers of that were being spoken to me about God's going to deliver me and going to fulfill my calling in Him, and those are the things that spurred me on, because when I'm asked about this situation, I tell people that God brought me from where I was to where I am not. So I know that God has not left me behind. You know, He brought me from where I was. Some very crazy things were going on in my life, and where I am now is like night and day.
Well, I'd say that's a miracle in itself. And I'm sure you know that a big part of the ministry is that Martiele, you know, activates people in healing, and she's also a healer herself. So, you know, that's another thing that we talk a lot about in ministry. So hopefully I will pray for you that you can get some relief from that.
I like to say one thing though. I was at the gym one day working out, and these two bodybuilders, huge muscles, and they saw me going from machine to machine. I walk with my cane, and they said to me, "What happened?" Which is a common question you get asked in the gym. You see people, you know, walking funny, and I said I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and the guy, in two separate occasions, two different bodybuilders, they said my friend was diagnosed with MS. He's in a wheelchair. I have never been in a wheelchair, and my confession of faith is that I never will be in a wheelchair. My confession of faith is that I'm going to be healed, working my deliverance here. Amen.
Wow, that is pretty incredible, because most people that I know who have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis have been in a wheelchair and have lost all hope. So for you to have that is pretty incredible. All right. So, you know, pretty much the most exciting and biggest part, for me at least, in the ministry is the prayer line, which I know you're both active in. So my first question for you both is, what do you like most about it?
The prayer line? It's
The prayer line.
Yeah, the consistency, to know that you have a specific time where you will get together with other believers and pray. And you're praying over each other's needs and different areas of focus. Then that is really amazing. And to know that you have that time of day that you're set apart for that purpose. It's great.
How about you, Ron?
It's just getting together with like-minded believers and lifting up a common cause here in the body of Christ, that we're all believers. We're having trials and tribulations and having others like-minded praying for us and believing for us and hearing a word of a prophetic word spoken from God given to you is very encouraging.
Well, it's good to hear. I know that the prayer line has been such a saving grace for so many people. And the prophetic word that you speak of, the first time I got on, it blew my mind because I thought these people were crazy, but they're not. It's real and it's amazing. So how has the prayer line changed your life?
It has changed my life to focus. I'm now focusing more on the gifts and the talents that the Lord has blessed me with. So that in itself changed my life, the direction and everything to get me more focused and not being concerned about everything. What will be have direct things that you purpose to do instead of just floating around from here to there.
Yes, I would say so. That it's about focusing and doing things that really matter in life, and then leaving the things behind that really don't matter. This is significant for us as believers.
And how has the prayer line affected your Christian walk?
It caused you to be more friendly, meeting people you don't know, and it gives you more encouragement even to speak to people as you pass along the way, even to be telling them about the prayer line and giving your testimony of the experiences that you have been having since you're on. And that also is a big asset in there, because before that I wasn't that talkative. I wouldn't just approach a stranger and talk, but now I find that I can do that.
And how about you, Ron? What would you say? Has it changed your Christian walk?
Yes, I would say basically the same things. Me, I'm not a shy one though. I've always wanted to know how to do, what to do. Like I said, I'm not a shy one. I'm an engaging person, so I'll end up talking with. I told my wife years ago, I said, the fact that I get into conversations with people that I don't even know on a consistent basis, and we end up talking, I just think that seeing so many people that don't have the knowledge of God is really a downer for me. It's like the knowledge of God doesn't exist in the world today. That's basically my take on it. I meet a lot of people, and they just don't have that knowledge. And then there's a lot of Christian people that say some things to me, and they have me totally befuddled too. So I'm like, well, we're getting to understand things that we need to understand here, and it's really taking us somewhere. It's powerful to hear from God and go and do what you're hearing.
When you guys are not on the prayer network, where do you guys fellowship?
We visit two different congregations. On a Saturday, we visit the Olive Tree congregation, which is a Jewish congregation, Messianic Jewish congregation, and so on. And on Sunday, we more regularly go to Church of the Risen Messiah. That's where we call there our church home.
Our home church, yes. Yes, I'd like to bring some clarity to what my wife just said. Actually, Olive Tree is the name Olive Tree actually refers to Jews and Gentiles running Messiah. So it's not so much a Messianic synagogue. It used to be, but they changed the name to Olive Tree to to have semblance between the Jews and Gentiles, one in Messiah.
Wow. That is very interesting. And I'm glad that you guys have somewhere to go when, the prayer line isn't on. And, it's good to have people in person to talk to and share the excitement of all the things that you're discovering about God and your relationship with Him. Now, my last question is, would you recommend the prayer line to friends or family or even people that you don't know? And why would you recommend it?
Oh, most definitely, I would recommend it. I have been recommending it to friends and other family members. And I recommend it because I see it's necessary for more believers to get to pray. A lot of Christians really don't take it a habit to pray. Because normally it is said that when the church has a prayer meeting, very few people show up. And it shows that they're not too much praying because some people don't like to. They don't even know how to pray, really, pray proper prayers. A lot of believers don't know how to pray effectively. So I would recommend them to come and learn how to pray, because on this line we pray the scriptures. And that's a big part of praying, to get answers. You're praying what God already has promised instead of begging God. You actually claim His promises. That's what I would recommend.
And what about you, Ron?
Yes, definitely. Picking up where I started, I'm recalling one of the apostles got up one morning and Jesus was already up, and they didn't know where He was, but He was somewhere, found him a rock and was praying. He was leaning on that rock and praying, and when they found Him, one of the apostles said, "Lord, teach us to pray." So that lets me know that prayer is not something that people naturally gravitate to. Prayer is something that has to be taught. And once it said that prayer is caught, then taught. And so if you don't catch it first and foremost, then that's why we're lagging behind as a body. It's true when on prayer night, that's the church is empty. On Sunday it's full, but on prayer night it's empty. I've experienced that at every church I've been at. And it's something that we really need to learn, just like faith. Yes, to pray.
I really like that. It needs to be caught and then taught. I've never heard that before.
Just the spirit of it.
Well, that's all my questions for you guys. I really, really appreciate you coming on and talking to me today. It was a pleasure speaking with both of you, and I am so happy that you have both joined the ministry and are so excited about it and getting so much out of it.
Amen. Praise God. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
It was really nice talking to you as well. Ron, it was nice to meet you. Pat as well. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, thank you so much.
Be blessed.
Thank you.